that this was a indication of bulls and bears had a massive fight right here. There's just not a lot of land markings there showing that a war took place there. But when you put this on, you can see there was a big war that took place right there. So on that battlefield. So that's just another way that you can get some areas of support just using some traditional TA, fixed range volume profiles and such, along with some diagonal and horizontal trend lines. And it's a good way to know, okay, we're breaking this structure, right? Like here on this price action, as it was coming up, we can see here, okay, we have our trend line. We're breaking structure. We're now going to be setting ourselves up for a potential lower low. Now, mind you, this could have came down and just barely touched right above this and then came back up in. But getting that break there gives you a little forewarning. This is your forward scout line, right? He's telling you, hey, it looks like we're doing something different here on the battlefield, right? So now let's go back and start looking where these previous battlefields took place. Well, we know that there's a point of control there, and we have a very big volume node on the most recent one. That's why we put that price zone in there for price action. And you can see right now that is the area that we need to hold. So shout out to who is that just joined? Let me pull that over here. Let me see. Who are you? You're on my other screen over here across the room from me, so I got to pull you over here to see you. That is Tyler. What's up, Tyler? How you doing, man? Let's go ahead and turn off my stream. And do you guys have any questions or anything that you guys are curious about, or did you have any questions about the things you just saw? Let's get into teaching you guys what you may need to know. So,
yeah, I got a couple things. On your volume profile, you had yellow and blue in a section, and then you had purple and yellow. What was the difference? And
so the purple and yellow, the purple and yellow area is outside of the 70%. That one range where it was blue and yellow, that's showing you where 70% of all the volume occurred. And that's a setting. Let me bring it back up here and I'll show you, but that's actually a setting in your fixed range volume profile. So let me bring it back up here and then I'll show you my settings so that you guys can get those. Because I have it set to, I want to know where, the top 70% of all volume occurred on your chart. So go in here. So there is I use row size 200 and value area volume 70. Okay. So it's giving me, this is where 70% of the volume occurred on this fixed range. This is where 70% of the volume occurred on this fixed range. Okay. The other is the 30% volume. That's how you get a value area high and a value area low, because a majority took place in between those. And then in the center is where the highest volume is. Like here's the value area low, value area high. This is where your highest concentration of volume occurred on the point of control. So did you want to see my settings? Do you want to copy those, or?
If you can put those up again, I'll just take a quick screenshot. Yep.
Okay, there's that. And then let me know. I get to the next one for you.
Okay, just give me one sec. Yep, I got that.
Okay, now another thing too is this extend right. If I wanted this to be not be a fixed range, like as candles continue to come in, this would continue to measure them. Then you can click that extend right and it will continue to measure all new candles that come in. Like if I click this, you'll see it now includes both areas. But I wanted to show you guys where you can get these two different layers of volume here, right? So that's what that does. And then under style, this is the styles that I use if you want to get those.
Yep. Sweet, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Who else got some questions? What you want to learn today?
So I just one more thing on this. So, you're on the 1 hour. I mean, are you going to trade within this, or do you think, what's your length of time that you feel like, the trade you're going to have, be in or be out, or do you, because what I've seen when you have, on this volume profile thing and you move through the different time intervals, it changes. It could change greatly at times. So how do you know which one you kind of
This wouldn't change at all.
It doesn't?
No, watch. I just went to an hour to a 15. It's still right there. The point of control is still reading all of the volume in that section. Point of control still coming right here on my box. You do
What if
this on a
you?
higher time frame. You
Yep.
do it on a higher time frame, right? And then
Yeah.
you use that for your lower time frame setups, bro. So this is called top-down analysis. So like for example, if I wanted to use this whole period here and I'm watching this, so I'm going to go ahead and move this here. We're going to put extension on this so that it goes all the way to the right, okay? And then I'm going to pull this over and I want to measure this entire piece here with all this action. Our point of control is all the way down here at 76,000. Let me turn off my horizontal lines here. I'll get rid of all this. We'll start over from scratch. Okay, you can see the value area low is where our price is getting held right now, right? The value area high right there.
Okay.
So watch this. Let's put this all the way back to a 5 minute. Bring this in. Look.
Wow. Okay. Is it
Yeah,
is it do
it's
does that do the same thing when you have the variable range?
no, 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 because that's not a fixed range. That's a variable range.
Oh, so that's
Fixed
why it's
range is
different when you do the.
that's why I use fixed range volume profiles. And
Oh,
they're
yeah,
right over
because
here on the left
that's what's
side.
getting me. That's what's yeah, right.
Yep.
Okay, that's what's getting
Okay.
me then.
And
Yeah.
this is so you don't know unless you ask questions. There's no such thing as dumb questions. This is I used to preach this to my soldiers all the time in the army. No such thing as a dumb question. The only dumb question is the one you don't ask. So now you know.
So if you're using the variable range, what do you think about that one? I mean, do you use a 1 hour and you're only trading within a day, or do you use a four
I don't
hour?
want I have enough variables in price action. I don't need to add another variable. I prefer to use a fixed range. That is static. Price is dynamic. Why do I want to add more dynamic stuff to it?
Fair enough, man. Good point. Yeah. So,
Yep.
how far out? Do you like the 1 hour? Is that kind of the one that you like? You showed us on the
Uh
on well,
Yeah, I use the 1 hour because it's in between scalpers and swing traders. 4 hours typically what I look at this one.
okay. Okay. And how far back would you look, like as,
Depends on the
like from
price
today?
action. Like right
Yeah.
here, look, we had a change of character. This is a change of character here. Um,
Oh, where
Come
did
on.
that pump up?
Yeah, where price was coming down, it
Okay.
changed here. This is where we had a change of structure, right? And so
Yep.
here is where I measured that from for that whole move. That way I could see all of this. But if I'm looking at this on lower time frames here, like on a 4 hour, let's put it back here and let's just take a look at this 4 hour. I probably don't want to include all of this time here, right? I did that to show you, but if I was going to use this for trading, I would be looking here because here is this was a let me get in here with my draw
Yeah,
tool.
that makes
This
sense.
was our pump, right? And then this was an accumulation period. This is accumulation and distribution, right? We talk about this all the time. OC loves this stuff. He'll probably come in here right after this and talk about how to identify your structure that you want to measure based on distribution and consolidation. And I think that that's a really good thing to understand because if you can spot, okay, we were in consolidation or this was in distribution, you know what is noise before that. And then that is now your new point. So you're looking for that breakout to start all of your new measurements. So, oh, see, I'm going to drop my save here. I'm going to drop that so that you can come in and show that stuff. And I'm going to go give Bedred a call because I just had a call from him. So hold on.
Absolutely. Something TB003. How can I call you? I always have trouble.
I'm Trent, man. I'm Trent.
Trent. All right, perfect. So I think I understand a little bit more on what your question was. And please correct me if I'm wrong. I think what you're trying to get is just a sense of a perspective on when to start measuring, and if you change out of time frame, if you should be updating your measurement to know what is the main area to look at, right? So
Yep, pretty much. Yep, you got
yeah,
it, buddy.
perfect. And I do have the answer for that. It's gonna be just a little bit. It's not gonna be complicated, but it will have four or five concepts, right? So we'll get it going fast. At this point, I'm gonna be using something that is kind of like a warring, right? That we talked about yesterday, which is gold, and we were also talking about copper, right? So let's go over gold, for example, and also, remember that I mentioned that usually just support, resistance, and trend lines is all you need to trade, right? But here's the thing: depending on what are you looking at and what you want to trade, that's gonna be your perspective of what you want to do, right? So, for example, 4 hours, you'll see most of us on our analysis use the candles very, very far away, right? I think let's get started there. And many of the new members or new users or new that are getting started with trading usually look at things like this. They like to see where the candle started, where the candle ended, right? And all of the candle wicks, because this gives you a sense of, all right, I have enough information to predict the next movement. And usually that ends up being not a mistake, but you're looking at it too close to predict the movement, right? For example, if I just look at this, well, I only have 2 points of reference to create maybe a trend line, right? And if I look at this, well then, oh, don't click that. Let me just hide this. Perfect. Maybe at this point, well, I do just have maybe even 3 points of confidence to do that. So I can predict that I'm in a channel. So what else can I do at this point? Well, then how could I know what is my most meaningful area for bounce? Because at this point, I want to know if I should be entering for breakout retest, which by the way, you never enter at you never long at resistance. That's why we wait for breakout retest, or at least breakout, right? And then, or maybe double bottom, right? Or maybe sweep of the lows, but how could you know? And this is where zooming out comes in, and this is where perspective comes in. So I'm right now I'm on the 4 hour, so I need to know where is it coming. So what is the most meaningful area for me to understand that? And that will be, let me just remove all of these drawings. Perfect. That will be the same area, but back here. So for example, let me just 1 second. Here we go. So what I'm gonna be doing, it is basically on the area that I'm in, just going as far back as I can until I have that, let's just say, volumetric area, right? And then what is the main part or the most important part in here? And here's where we talk about accumulation or distribution, which don't, I mean, let's just make it as simple as possible, are just ranges, right? And when I talked about ranging, I always mention ranges are unknown breakouts. Just to keep it simple, that will also raise up your defense because you will not be over analyzing to see where you're gonna be breaking out. That comes afterwards, right? After you have your foundation being built, right? And right here, what do I see? Well, look at that. I see tops of the range. I see what is not about the breakout. It's about the what?
Retest.
Perfect.
The retest.
So, exactly. So this retest makes this top very meaningful, right? And what just happened on that meaningful area? Not only that,
Another
we
retest.
just had exactly, yes. We also have a taking profit checkmark, right? So again, let's just think that we don't have this kind of tools. So that's where distribution and accumulation comes in play. What it might be the next area? Well, then, since I'm already in my ranging, well, let's just go for what might be the next one, the bottom of that range. And look at the support and resistances, or even the trend lines
Mhm.
are as on non-flexible scenarios. So for me to hold this, look at how am I using a wedge, right? Between my thumb and my finger. You see that? It can also be the other way, the other way around, but that's exactly the same thing that I do when I try to find big supports and resistances. For example, right here, I am wedging, right, my support and resistance between this top and this bottom. Do you see that? Same thing that I'm trying to do here between this top, sorry, and this bottom. That's when I'm wedging in my support and resistances. That way
Yep,
I
I'm with you.
know exactly, that's when I know that I'm in a good zone or a good spot. Now, remember what we explained here. This is a range, right? In this case, this is kind of like the base for the trampoline, right? This means that the more, let's just bolts I have on that platform, the greater the move I can receive and then propulse it back up. Would that make sense? So just like a guy in a trampoline getting ready, to take the dive,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
how strong is this wedge compared to the bolted areas here? Very, very strong. Which one would you consider be strongest? This line, this dash line, or this straight line? So number one or number two?
Ah, I'm not sure. I mean, number one is up and down more, or number two is up and down more, but number one is tighter.
Yes, but this is what exactly Piper got
So
it.
two, two,
He's
two.
dying to come in here.
Thanks for the
So,
help, Army. I needed a little help there, man.
but let me give you
But I thought that the accumulation stage made it stronger because more people were buying in, so you were less likely to sell out at that stage. Where the high volatility on number two means you only had small amounts of buyers, so you're actually in more danger at those spots.
yes, but
Say,
also
say
look
that.
at
Say that again, Buck. Say that again if you don't mind. That sounded like really good info.
Well,
Okay,
hold
so
on. I'll give you a visual to go with it. OC, can you do me a favor? That area there from about the strong pump over to your Mexican spaghetti, can you put a fixed range volume profile just in that area? Yep, right in there. And then Buck can explain it because you'll have a visual to go with it.
Oh, sweet,
Back to the
cool.
pump. Nope, back further.
back farther. All right. This one here.
To right there. Yep. And put it to the point back. So bring the end of it back. No, not that end. That end. Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Your
trying to find
icon's down at the bottom. Yeah,
And
bring that back a little bit more. Back right there. Back to the right. To the right. Right there. Look at the amount of volume that took place where that line is at.
yeah, so exactly that, and that is saying what I was saying, correct? So there's more volume that happened in that area, which means a shit ton of people were buying versus those big spikes below. You only had a few people buying where they were just like buying a shit ton, right? So your level of
Yes.
strength that you should feel more comfortable is on that layer of accumulation. Those big
Oh,
spikes you can get thrown on the ground just by somebody fucking with the market.
Oh, see,
gotcha,
we got to
gotcha.
fix
And
your.
that, yep. And that fixed
Oh, see,
range with the white line shows you that is where the most volume is.
OC, put your row size to 200, please. And I think you'll find a lot more strength in your fixed range volume profiles. Yep. That row, nope, there, back on inputs. Put that to 200. And then on the second piece of that, on the style, yeah, that don't matter. You got it. There you go.
all right.
Now you have a lot more. Now you have a lot more detail of what's in those lines off of those blocks.
Yep, got you.
Yeah. But here's a
Gotcha.
And you
Man,
can see there.
appreciate it. That's
You can
really
see
good.
there the amount of strength on that dash red line. You can see the amount of strength right there. There's a huge gap above it.
Right. Yep.
So back to my question really quick. I'm going to remove this very quick so we can see it. So I would be going for
Yep.
number two. And this is because, and let me just go back in here because I mean, Buck, you got a point. But here's the thing: this whole area is acting as a range, and we have a range sandwich, right? So you have a range acting as a support of this line, and also another range acting as the base of this line. In the other way around, let me just get this one out. In this case, you only have a range below and a retest at the top, right? So despite we have many more ranges, the volume that we needed to drive this pump, to drive this pump, and to drive this pump is way much more than the volume that we needed to drive this one, to drive this one, and to drive this one till here. So, and you can
Gotcha.
see that reflected. I mean, you got the perspective right. I think just was a matter of maybe just looking at slightly different, but also we got. Let me just put it on back down, so not make a mess in this fixed range profile from here to here, right? And then 200. Right, is the spike. It is this one. There's no doubt about this, right? And that's what we launched. But when we're talking about coming back down, well, then I will say that at this point, yes, this will be a big support, but the momentum that's coming, what is going to be, where is it going to be stopping? I would be saying at the dash line, which at this point, remember what we talked about on Bitcoin, the threshold area, right? So this is going to be my threshold area for entering. And then I'm missing something else. I like to add momentum, right? So what I want to see on momentum.
Can I ask something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Why? Yeah, you've got the number two area that you have. Why would you think that there's also a support and resistance area, at the bottom of that, like at around say 2360, that would also that it could come down past your dotted line there at 2471?
Could you repeat that? So why am I thinking that there is a support here?
I'm just asking, is there?
Yeah, oh,
Because
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
because you've had those
Oh,
few.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's remember, trading's about odds, right? And so you're playing the odds. The odds is that the first opportunity for a trade is that top dash red line there, right?
Okay.
And so you got and now if it breaks that, that's why we use stop losses, right? Now your fallback plan, your next line of attack
Okay.
is the next support line below, right? So
Gotcha. Gotcha.
but when he looks at this statistic odds wise, there's a very good chance because of the amount of tests there of resistance and then the confirmations of support that top red line is going to be an area to stop. Number two, there's a lot of support retest there that will be another test of support again. So
Okay. Gotcha.
yes.
Gotcha. Thanks for that, man. That's really good
yeah,
explanation.
And then this is what I talk about perspective. Now that we already have set things up, now you need to start talking to yourself, right? And telling yourself, what do I want to trade? All right, we are in the 4 hours, right? Do I want to trade maybe this kind of movements, right? Or maybe I want to trade these itty bitty movements. If I'm trying to trade the itty bitty movements, I need to go into a lower time frame and then extract between the next upcoming big support and resistance and my price action now. If, on the other hand, as we are right now on the 4 hour, and I want to trade the swing trade, right? Well, then I usually go for 2 to 3 support or resistances. So remember, at this point, I want to trade the whole movement, right? The whole movement. So when is this going to stop? So it's going to stop either right now because we already have this one in a support area here, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or we could go to the next one, 2 or even 3. That's it. I'm not even going farther because when I get here, I'm gonna analyze for the next one maybe below. When I get
Gotcha.
here, I'm gonna analyze for the next one below, right? So I don't. That's
Okay.
why I don't go way farther back down, because that's gonna be taking my attention out of the important zone, which is where the
Mm.
price is
Yeah.
now and where the price is heading. So that is, I think, the perspective that you're looking for. And another thing is using those areas of continuation or sorry, a distribution to measure your, let's just say your threshold. For example, right here we just talked about this area. So this is until I'm gonna be looking at it right now. Then I'll maybe look into here, and then I'll maybe look into there, right? So for example, let's go to the 5 minutes and do it once again. The perspective change, right? Now the swing trade looks much bigger, but in reality it is less of a movement. Let me just clear this up once again. And what I'm going to be doing here, it is the exact same thing as I did before. Let's go to a horizontal. I want to measure where the price hit below, hit at the top, right? And I'm going to go back in time, and I don't know why my internet is so slow.
Because you're on 5 minute, bro.
Yeah, but usually give me a little bit more detail, and I mean more back thing.
Turn off
Right?
your oscillator. Turn off your oscillator and move it on a higher time frame. Like 30 minute. It's your Mexican internet, bro.
Yeah, I think it is raining today, so maybe that's it. Yeah, because it's just populating right now. Yeah, it's my internet.
I thought you had Starlink.
I do, but I don't always use it. When I'm on Merida, I use fiber optics. When I travel to Cozumel, I use the Starlink.
Yeah, it's crazy to think like in 20 years, people can't really be racist anymore. You know, like it's like everything is like going global. Yeah, it's funny.
We're always going to use the excuse that it's OC's Mexican internet, though.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
excuse.
spaghetti.
It's a good excuse. It's good as any.
Yeah, it
It's what
works
we
good.
blame everything on. It's what we blame everything on here in America. All the migrants coming across the border. What anything problems south of the border, we blame on
Yeah,
them
it
too.
ain't
Why
my
not?
fault.
Oh,
Right.
perfect. Look at that. It just worked. So at this
There we
point,
go.
at this point, I'm gonna be looking at the same thing that we were looking at, right? The immediate range, and then also the immediate accumulation or distribution zone. So that's it. I just repaint on it, right? Like this. Oh, come on. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna drop it.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe you can continue in the meantime.
Yeah, I got it.
Raining.
It's all good, bro. You'd be having the same problem if you were using your Starlink right now, because all of the satellite signal would be refracting on all the water drops. So
Yeah.
Starlink does the same thing. When it rains, it messes with Starlink too. I got to tell you guys a funny story real fast before I go in and start pulling what I was going to show on the chart. But you guys know my wife, when she worked at the federal employee, I've talked about this on the show. She worked at Joint Task Force North as a signals intelligence targeting person, right, for SIGINT. And she got a phone call today and an email from a recruiting company for a position for the SIGINT targeter at Joint Task Force North. There's only one of them. She was in the only seat they had. She quit. She's the reason that it needs to be filled. So they called her to hire her for the same job she left.
Oh my god. But
Because
sounds like
nobody,
she's qualified.
SIGINTers don't want to come to El Paso. They make really good money. Like I said, she had a 6-figure job, 106,000 a year, with benefits and vacation days and all kinds of stuff. Federal employee, right? Like so. But SIGINTers, they want to go to San Antonio to NSA, or Denver, Colorado to NSA, or Maryland to NSA, or work in Washington D.C., or go to like Italy or Japan, all these big places, right? Nobody wants to
See
come
if
to
they
El
want a
Paso,
washed up
Texas.
LT.
Yeah.
See if they want a
It's
washed
hot,
up
dude.
LT.
It's too damn hot.
I'll be there.
Well, they need somebody that has experience in signals intelligence, that has a
Not
polygraph
me.
on file, and a top secret security clearance. So
Yeah, no.
And not photoshopped.
no, not Photoshop. And remember, SIGINTers have to do a polygraph also. So they have to do they do a lie detector test too, because of the level of assets that they touch. So
My top secret credentials are, trust me, bro.
trust me, bro. I gotta trust
Yeah,
me,
that shit
bro.
don't
SCI,
fly.
man. TSSCI, trust me, bro. All right, let's jump into my chart and take a look at here. I'm going to show you guys another way that you can. This is a really quick. Whoa, easy there, sir. I'm going to need you to settle the hell down. All of my monitors just went wonky. It's like I was trying to like dock this somewhere or something. No, I'm just trying to move you to another screen. Calm down.
You're talking about clearances. They went ahead and fucked your shit up.
They did. They did. It was like he's giving out all the secrets. So this is another thing you can do too. I'm going to go back to gold because that was a perfect setup for it that I was watching there on his chart. You guys see this nice downtrend that gold has? By the way, we're almost back to my support box that I had on here quite a while ago. This goes back into last week when I was talking about this back to September. This is my range box, and this is based on fixed range volume profile. So we have one here that we're coming back to. So keep that in mind. I think this is the bounce range here for gold is between 24.75 and 25.30. So another quick tool you can do. You see this nice drop range here where it's just coming down like this. Let me turn all the other indicators off. And let's just show you a really quick, easy tool. This is called the regression trend tool. Okay, it's right there. It's not even an indicator. It's right here in your tools. Grab this. We're going to come up here from where we started to break this structure right before that. Bring it down to normal. Look at that. There is your regression trend. So when it breaks this to the upside, this will continue. If you go into the settings and you put this on extend the lines, this will start to break up, and this will update as it goes. Okay. Inputs here, use lower deviation, upper deviation. Yep. So this will continue to grow as it pulls in here, and you can just keep dragging it over if you want, whatever. But when this breaks right now, you can see, look at all of the play that this has had on the 50% line, that red dash line in there, right? Lots of play on that. So when this breaks that, you can look at, okay, we might be coming up for a short, or if it breaks it and we get a good retest, then you can enter in on a long. Same as when it comes down here to the bottom, you can get into a long. And if you think about the longs on these guys, because it's coming down, the shorts will make you more money on a long on a downtrend. Why? I'm going to show you why. Let's go over here and let's grab the price measurement tool. Let's look at this from the top to the bottom. Okay. That is a 3.5% move. Let's look at this from the bottom to the top. That's only a 2.4. Why? Because the top side that you're going to retrace to is getting closer and closer to where you entered. Where when you get into a short, it's getting further and further the longer it takes. So you can get more on a short on a downward trend than you can on a long, just like if this was going the other direction and we had a trend regression on here, right? Pull this up to here. There we go. You can see here, we get on a long here. Isolate the chart. There we go. Getting on a long on this, okay, we're not going to make it to the bottom of this here trend, but we do have a horizontal fib here. You go to the top of that, that's a 3.72. Measure this to the downside, and that's only like a 1.28. So you get a lot more movement on an upside during an uptrend, just like you get a lot more movement on a downside on a downtrend, just because the top side resistance is on a higher level. Let's go ahead and bring country up here, and then I see Melissa dropped off. Melissa, come back, lady. There we go. You guys are both invited back up. Perfect. What's up, country? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Yes, sir.
Awesome. We're talking about consolidation, distribution, break of structures, and ways that you can trade just off of some simple tools without having to put a whole lot on your chart. So that's the focus right now. But anybody have questions on this stuff here? Settings, usage, anything like that? I take silence as a no.
I like all my chart prime indicators. I'd rather let them do it for me.
Buck, say that again?
I like my chart prime indicators. I would rather let it do it for me.
Well, it does, but sometimes sometimes it's good to go back to basics every now and then. So I was just showing these some basic stuff here. Trent, what was the question you asked?
Just the green was just your level of support that you had in this time interval.
Yeah. So what that's based on here, I was on, I believe, 12-hour when I was looking at this. And it was based on this entire level here of play that we had. We had a lot of resistance here. It's basically like taking two of OC's trend lines that he just showed you there before. Like when he was just doing a regular
Yeah.
trend line, like, look,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a nice flat level here. Yep. And then I go, okay, well, there's another nice flat level here. And let's just go ahead and say that anything in between these two green lines now is going to be a support and resistance range, a trade range, right? And that's what I did.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
If
And
there's
it's
no
nice to
other,
just throw a range box on there sometimes like that, because it just gives you that, hey, keep this in mind. If we're breaking all of
Yeah.
these levels, this is a nice area to come back and test. And let's go over, just to show you guys here why I always talk about fixed range volume profiles. Let's just go over and pull this. Value area high comes in right there. That's our first level of support. Anything after that, where is it going to be? Right
Yeah.
down here at the point of control on the value area low. So, which is in line, by the way, with my 3.618 on my fibs. So,
Man,
yeah.
that's crazy.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think that we're
it's so
gonna
many
go
times that I can
that
like pull
low.
a fixed range. No, so many times that I can pull a fixed range volume profile and throw it on the chart. And before I even drop it, go, yeah, this is probably going to fall in my range that I'm seeing here, just because I've done it so long with fixed range volume profiles. I look at it and can tell you there was a lot of buying and selling right here, right? And there was. It was the top of the value area high. Matter of fact, throw that back on. 1 second. Nope. I just took it off again. Let's throw that back on there again. Point of control, if I only pull it from the where we broke out of this consolidation, what he was just talking about, that here's our accumulation, right? And distribution. Once we broke that and started taking off, look, point of control is coming in right there. That's a majority. There's the biggest amount of trade volume in there. And if you go in and look at this, I think you were asking this and I didn't actually give it in detail, but if you see here, this is your 70% block, right? Is the blue. And I have my other colors set to the purple and orange, right? If you look at this, you can see that the value area down, the sell pressure here was the yellow, and you can see that the value area up, the buy pressure was the blue. So this was about 50-50 here on how much was buy pressure and how much was sell pressure. That's why it's the point of control. If you break this, you're under control of the bears and you're probably heading down to the value area low. So
Yep.
this is going to be a critical area right here on gold, $2,500, guys.
And let me ask you one question right there. Can you maybe zoom on the last channel that you have there with your green? Yeah, perfect. That one. Yeah, perfect. Much better. Yeah. Let me ask you a question there. Where or what would you guys be looking at exactly to pull the trigger to enter a trader? Because I mean, we're talking about theory, right? But let's put it into practice. And theoretically, what would you be expecting there to say, hey, that's my entry? What would you guys be looking at there?
At which that rejection right where he at the circle. I mean the retest of the top of the what he just circled. It broke out. If you look at the top, the very first tip, go back, Piper. Go back some more to the first long candle. Nope, nope, no, back. Yeah, right there. After that, I would have came after it did that big move and came back and retest, which is your OC retest. I would have got in
But
and
you
played it.
wouldn't have had this structure yet there. I'll
Exactly.
show you why. If I pull this back to
I
that
would.
point,
Yeah.
it would have been like this. It starts to take in the new data as it goes forward. You see that?
But then it would have his oscillator would have kind of gave me some the dynamic reactor and the
Yes,
oscillator would have gave me more confirmation.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because down here, you can see we started going sideways on the oscillator.
Yep.
And we started going sideways here. When I know that we're in this structure already, right? We just came out of this one. This one's
Yep.
now broken, right? And
Yep.
so now you can almost go like this and go, this is the line, right? Coming right here. Now I know that we're in a new structure. So now as I'm pulling this in, watch this. Let me put this where this would be at. Come here, you. Let me pull this where this would be at when we're coming into this point here. You see that there? I would
Yep.
start looking, okay, we're in accumulation and we're not breaking here. I would actually look at getting into a short on this first one, me personally,
Yeah. And
because I could
it's
set a
something.
tight stop loss above this entire range here. I could set
Yep.
a stop loss right above that tight stop loss and just let that run to the downside. So
I don't know if y'all ever heard of the Darvis box strategy. Piper, you ever heard of that strategy? The Darvis box?
is that the one where you split the box in half?
Well, that consolidation phase, what you're in right now, that whole consolidation phase, once it breaks up, once that counter closes above that box, or like similar to like an order block or a fair value gap closes below that 50% line,
Yep.
that's one of my confluences to
So yeah, that's very similar to OC's box that he does on the oscillators, and you can do that with the same up here. But he does a box that's very similar on the oscillator, where he'll go, "This is the box. Anything in this range, we're shorting. Anything in this range, we're looking for longs." So
yeah. So
Yep.
can you draw a horizontal line at the top of where you at? Nope, down. Start it right there at the tip of that candle. Draw a horizontal line.
Here, I'll tell you what. I'll put a horizontal line on, and you can
Right
tell me
there,
where
and
to
then do
stop.
one at the top. Do one right there, and do another horizontal at the right at the second. I can't. Let me see me zoom in some. Yes, right there. So that little whole consolidation phase. Once that candle would have broke out and closed, and then did the retest, I would have got in. So it would have closed below that box, came back with OC retest with the second circle, and I would have got in.
Yep. Well, that's why I was doing these circles here, because this one here, we were getting a retest where I could put seriously like a stop loss right above this wick here, right?
Yep.
And let this short. This one here was my secondary entry, and that's why I did the circles that I did. So yeah, we're in the same concept. You're just waiting for different things to occur. I'm watching just the horizontals here on this. So matter of fact, if we look here again, we have another one here right there. And that was our rejection of this point where it tried to come back up again. And that line runs all the way across all here. See all that? So, yeah.
And then, guys, like right now, looking for a long, right? Because we don't have it just yet because we're still in a downtrend. But looking for a long, what would your entry be? Or what would you guys be looking for based on what we learned today's class to enter for a long position?
I missed the class. So I don't know what y'all about.
God, would we be looking for a retest on the what is that? Whatever that line is, whatever that yellow line is, right around 2600.
That's
Well,
weird.
we're already at the
This one here.
green support zone. We're already at the green support zone. That's your impulse with all the point of control.
Yep.
We're already at that zone. That's what normally if it comes back in, that's your buy zone. That green is your buy zone.
That
And
green is your buy zone. And here's exactly what I would do.
And I use
We're going to put this on the point of control.
Yep.
Go for it. Go for it. Tell me what you would do using my strategy.
I use your what is it? The chart prime RSI, or I can use the oscillator, but I use the chart prime RSI to kind of see where we at in the oversold range underneath. Yes, I'm using that right here. That chart prime RSI. I know how to now look at both oscillator and the chart prime RSI. They kind of do the same thing, but you can see the high candles.
Yep.
To catch the bottom of the wick. You're already
Yep.
in. You're oversold.
So yeah, way oversold. And I'll show you another thing too that's going on here when you put this on the side by side. We're pushing the Bollinger Band daily down. This thing, look how wide it's getting.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
thing is getting ready to pump like crazy, guys.
Have you seen the Bollinger
I think
Bands
gold
in
is getting ready to
Bitcoin-
pump like crazy.
Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin Weekly, where it makes those like huge opens and closes.
Yeah.
Man.
And then all of a sudden you like yeah. So yeah, I think that when we get down to this range here, I'm going to be looking closely for where are we over here on the Oscillator Pro. Where are we here? If this is blue, if this is in the blues like this, and this thing is buried down, because you can see money flow starting to come back up already. I'm going to be looking at the volume here, going, okay, is the volume graying out? Are we getting into some more volume return here? Like when this all starts to trigger, it's going to trigger hard, and this thing's going to shoot back up. And remember, we typically travel once we hit the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Look here. It was real wide. See how wide this was? If you bring this into picture here, you'll see how wide the Bollinger Band really was at this point. Come on now, man. There we go. Thank you. Look how wide the Bollinger Band was, like down here. When this thing was down, look, it started getting tight. It shot up and it kept climbing. This thing hit the Bollinger Band here. And then look at that climb that it did there off of the bottom of the Bollinger Band and pushed actually past the top. That was a 7% move on gold, which is phenomenal, right? When we're this wide on this band like we are now, once it cools off and we start to get indication on this, on the left side here, on all of this, and we start to get indications here on this, and we're on big support areas on the upper candles of this chart over here, we have a long way to move back up to those Bollinger Bands. Watch this. Let's just measure it from now to up there. That's an 11% move on gold, that's a huge move on gold.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's what I'll be looking to do step by step. First of all, I already have my support and resistances, right? We grabbed that from the previous ranging area, which is what Piper also have right there on the green box, right? So the first thing I'll be looking, it is structure, market structure, right? So first of all, do I get a sweep of the lows? The next movement, would it be a sweep of the low or would it be a double bottom, right? Once I see the next candle that predicts it was a double bottom or a sweep of the lows, that will be my first risky entry. Then the next thing I want to look at, it is going to be my oscillator, and I want to see the ribbon breaking up above the zero line. That will give me exactly the volume factor. And finally, if none of that played out, I'll be looking at a breakout of the blue line at the top, retest on that blue line, and then off we go, being above the zero line of the oscillator at the same time. So that would be.
I want you guys to go in and do this. This will probably help you guys with your oscillator. Go in on your coordinates, put this at 0.0.
Positive
Click
70
OK.
and negative 70.
Lock it, and there you go. That's going to give you a nice visual there of what he's talking about, of your breaking of the zero line. And you can even go in and just make it, nice and light here on style. We're going to make it lighter and we'll put it as a dash line. It's going to make it really pop for you, so you guys can be aware. Because look here, zero line rejection, right? Zero line bounce. All these zero line bounces here in this consolidation phase, right? You can see a lot of times you'll play, like right there, it came back down. A lot of times it will play on this zero line, this ribbon will bounce, right? And so that's what he's talking about there, is this ribbon, the line here, this line, breaking that 0 line. And if you put a line on there, which all I did was come up to the side, hit the plus, and put it on 0.0, and then lock it. Lock it. It's locked. Now I have a visual 0 line that I can use on that. Go ahead, OC. I just wanted to show them that so that they had that as a little trick of the trade.
Piper.
Yeah.
Piper. So add a on that same thing. Add a top line at 70 and another line at -70.
They're already there.
Okay. Yep. And
They're already on there. Yep.
gotcha.
Hey guys, if you
Are
haven't
you-
Yeah,
noticed,
what's it?
every single meme coin on base right now is pumping like a son of a bitch.
Yes, it is.
And to catch a wick of Piper, I've been at that buy zone. I've been doing my DCA strategy around the that buy zone to try to catch that whole
Okay.
entire wick.
Yep.
So I start from the top of the box, cut it in the middle, and go down to the end ending. I do like little increments, low risk. And then it'll catch like three limit orders out of my 6 and then go right back up. And I that's what I've been catching.
Oh, here, because I forgot to show this morning, but you guys can get a preview of it because I'm gonna show it in the morning. I forgot to show it this morning. I gave a teaser. Guys, this is what's coming. This is what's coming right here. Do you guys see this?
Strategy builder that we were talking about yesterday.
This is a strategy back tester. It does a strategy test. Okay. And it's using data that was put in by the user, us, me, you, whoever. You can look, when it breaks 3D trend and it bounces on the dynamic reactor and I get an uptrend on the oscillator. It uses chart prime indicators. You can put in the criteria on your strategy. It will back test it and tell you what it would have made in the period of time that you put in. So let me go over here and show you this one. This one here is running from like March 25th, 2020 through November 12th, 2024. On this one here, they ran the test and you can see the loss hit, take profit 1 hit, longed where it entered. It does all the indications of what it did based on your strategy, back test it all, and then you'll be able to automate this on 3 commas. And it will, like this one here, running this from March 25th, 2020 on Bitcoin. This ran an 4,937% net profit.
Piper, could you please
This
go
is an-
ahead and click on trade on trades? Is it?
Well, this is a picture.
List of
It's a
trades.
picture.
Oh, it's a picture. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to show the list of trades, right? But yeah,
There was average
yeah.
number of bars in the trade was 79 bars. It did 1,089 closed trades.
And you can go ahead and check every trade when you click.
Is this
on it.
another thing that I'm gonna have to wait for another 6 freaking months since I still don't have my 3D Chen thingy? Like quit fucking with me, bro.
Dude, the developer, I'm telling you, you guys have got to understand our development team is not huge, because if it was, we wouldn't have the best. You would have garbage mixed in there, right? We have a small team of the best Pine script writers in the business, and they're working their asses off.
Or
One here,
or Piper's a big old.
I
You know
told
what,
OC, what's up, OC? Go ahead and bring me on that team, and we get.
get y'all excited, get y'all wanting something, can't have it yet. I see how it is.
oh, see, what's going on? Are we going to get the 3D beta for the guys that have, who all here has plus?
I have the highest.
Hey,
I think Buck, Corey, Melissa, do you have plus?
Yeah, we all have it.
You all have the Oscillator Pro Plus?
Yes.
Yeah, if they've got plus, we should be able to get them access to the 3D trend beta so they can at least have it for now.
I've been
'Cause that's-
pushing for that access for plus, but T-Sac is right now. T-Sac is the leader of the developer team. He's crazy busy, and Gecko is being on the
Yeah.
videos. Yeah.
So here, I'm gonna go ahead and show these guys here just so they can look. This is not
Stop
for
what you're showing.
broadcast,
Stop
guys.
what you're showing.
Look.
It's enough showing. No showing unless I can have it. God damn it.
No, look. You guys see what this says here? That was behind this black picture. You see that?
Yep.
Anybody know who that
Ring
is?
any bells?
What's that mean? Yeah.
That's Crypto Banter. That's Ran.
Oh, okay.
He's partnering up. Yeah, this is for a huge player in the game that we're picking up as a partner. So that's why there's so much attention on getting this built. This is part of Banter's thing, but it's going to be it's going out for him first, and then it will go out to the rest of Chart Prime. But guys, this is why the team is so busy. They've got to get this done. This is a multi-million-dollar deal for Chart Prime.
No kidding.
What's the
Conversations start
timeline?
at 3 a.m. and end up at 10 a.m. Guys, it's just crazy.
So
What do you think the timeline is on giving it to the customers like us?
Well, I will tell you this. We actually have a class on Monday to learn how to use this thing. So I don't think it's very far off.
Wow, that's pretty wicked.
Yeah. This is huge. And you guys are getting like this is the first look publicly that this is made right here. So
Wow.
So would this be like we're able to create our own bots to do our trading for us?
on 3 commas, yes.
Okay.
Using your Chart Prime indicator. So if you have a favorite strategy that you go, when this, and this line up, this is when I enter a trade, you'll be able to back test it with this and it will tell you its accuracy rate. And then you can go, okay, well, shit, that worked. I'll take 3,000% moves on Solana, right? 3,000% gains on Solana in a period of 12 months, I think this was. And I'll set this up on 3 commas with Blowfin and just let it trade my strategy on Chart Prime indicators. That's what this thing's going to do. I'm telling you guys, me and TRADEFLY have already talked about this. I'm going to take about $100,000 and drop it in on this thing and run it my strategy on this, because if this thing was doing, a 3,000% return on Solana with a $5,000 entry, like, get the hell out of my way. I'm coming in. You know what I mean? Like,
Would we be able to do the test it with paper trading on some of the platform? Well, we can do that on Trading View.
Not in paper trading, but just like the picture it was shown, you need Trading View Pro, and based on Trading View Pro, you can back test that strategy using the indicator.
Okay.
Yeah, so this picture that I was showing here, this is actually the strategy tester right here.
Yeah.
And it's testing this. So it back tested it all the way back. Like, these aren't actual trades that it did. This is saying, based on your indicator inputs that you gave us, if you were to trade on those calls and take profits, this is what it would have made in this period of time. Like, this did the back testing for you based on this strategy tester.
So OC, try to see if it can test the strategy I mentioned. That'll be a good test with the new tool.
What is it? Can you submit it? Can you put it in the chat, like what the indicators are? What the criteria is?
The 200 SMA, and the dynamic reactor. When the dynamic reactor crosses over the 200 SMA, it normally comes with acceleration, and that it goes that direction, whatever it's going to. I haven't seen, if you look back in history, I haven't seen where the dynamic reactor crosses over the SMA. It doesn't like go in that direction. When it crosses over that 200 SMA, it goes. And then right before it crosses over, it has the first acceleration, like kind of like right before it crosses over. You can look.
OC, does it? The OC, will it use non-chart prime indicators, or does it only use chart prime indicators?
At this point, it's only available for chart indicators, but it will be at the very far back down of the configuration. There's a box where you can put in the code. So it's a matter of grabbing the 200 EMA code and just pasting it there, and it'll
Oh,
do it for you.
okay. Which is
Yeah,
the
but
200 moving average is open source, so you can put that in there. Yeah,
yeah,
But I can't get the alert. I can't get the alert to happen. Like when the dynamic reactor crosses over the 200 SMA, I can't get that
because
alert.
the alerts are only built to work with other chart prime indicators. Because
Okay.
you have to remember, in order to have alerts integrated, they have to reference all of the code involved in what you're looking for, and to do that with every single indicator out there, it can't hold that much code in an indicator. So
Is there a way to make a 200 chart prime SMA?
no, because chart prime cannot. Well, actually, don't we have a moving average one from chart prime on the free indicator side? Yes, we do.
yes, we do. Not only
If we
that,
if we
remember that you can copy the 200 SMA code and just paste it into the storage builder. In fact, you asked the same question on the chart prime. What was it? The help, I think, channel. Or, and I gave
Yep.
you access to. Well, no, I didn't give you access. It's a free strategy builder, which is the predecessor of this one, and it's free for use. And it takes any and all free indicators. You just need to paste them. So there you have also integrated 200 EMA. And the way to use it with your dynamic reactor is just stay on one single time frame and do an EMA and adjust that EMA to replicate as close as possible the dynamic
to the
reactor movement. It will depeg. It will absolutely depeg. But you have something like a 6 month kind of like a grace period. So every 6 months you
Because
just
moving average is part of the code of the dynamic reactor, but there's also algorithmic stuff in there that does not exist. It's private code. So it
yep
will
yep
be times that they will deviate. So
yep.
That sounded so technical. Algorithmic stuff.
that's what it is. It's algorithmic code. It's reading other data and into the algorithm. And just remember, Lux Algo, its name is Algo, right? The vital
Bro,
algo is
I
what
got you.
chart
I was
prime
just
used to
talking
be.
shit. It
Okay.
just sounded funny. Like I understand what the algo is. It just sounded really non-technical. It just sounded funny,
Listen,
dude.
we're freaking chart nerds here, okay?
Hey, question. Was chart prime and Lux Algo like was y'all together before or something?
No,
no.
no.
Okay.
Chart Prime used to be Vital Algo, but I will say that one of the partners of the company is the former co-founder of Lux Algo. He left the company and joined Chart Prime. That tells you
Gotcha.
anything.
Yep.
Not only that, when we used to be Vital Algo, they throw economical bombs to us. They blocked everything that they could. They freaking they paid influencers not to work with us like that. So
Yep.
yeah, one of the
All's fair in love and
co-founders.
war, and business is war, right?
Dude, there's been a war between Chart Prime and Lux Algo forever. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but OC, there was an alternate universe that was offered up to Piper Academy where OC would not even be sitting here right now, would not be on the morning show. Because Lux Algo tried to pay Piper Academy to drop Chart Prime, join up with them. They were going to give us all kinds of money. And part of the deal was that we could do nothing with Chart Prime, which meant that OC, who works for Chart Prime, would not be able to be on the show. And I told him to pound fucking sand because I'm loyal to people, not money. So
Man,
I appreciate that.
I'm loyal to people, man.
Yeah,
I'm all about
that's the
people.
way to be.
You can pound sand, Lux Algo.
and I mean,
So
let me tell you that behind curtains, Piper and I have been pushing community hard. When this co-founder from Luxal came in, he was let's do this very technical, and Piper was the first one to say, "Hey, hold your horses. This is about community. It always has
Yeah,
been."
I sure did.
Yeah.
Right. I overstepped the CEO and everything. Like, hey, I was here when there was nobody else in the fucking Discord but OC and a couple of people, man. You don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Yes. And
Me and
it's
Gecko bumped
proven.
heads a couple of times. Now he's like, I fucking love Piper. So, hey.
But I mean, that's the way it is because they come with another mentality, right? And then when we see how strong we are as a community, that's, I mean, that's what we're all about. That's what we don't gate anything. I mean, in the classes on the Piper Academy, we go all out. That's why also the pre-recorded classes, if you go to my channel on YouTube or Chat Prime, they're all out there. So you want full transparency, you want day on day follow up, come watch it. It's freaking free, right? And then if you want to use the indicators based on our performance, I mean, go on. We are here to, because I mean, when I get started, I always wanted somebody to talk to me straight to the face and say, you know what? I mean, you're not special. You're not gonna become millionaire from one day to another. There's no magic thing. You need to work it, and you need to work on this, and this, right? And I think that's the only way. Just like creating art, right, or practicing, becoming good at a sport. It's just practice, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
tell you guys, our
good
our
stuff.
channel itself, and even like the upperclassmen and the memberships and stuff, it doesn't pay that much. Google takes 30% of everything that comes to the channel, and then we've got what 11 members, in our upperclassmen. Uh, but I'm able to pay all of our content creators at least a little something every month because I went to Chart Prime and said, Lux Algo tried this shit. This is what they tried to do. And the CEO was like, well, I appreciate that you didn't take that offer. Let's work something out. We'll give you some money to give to your guys. And that's what they did. The reason that I'm loyal to Chart Prime is because when I was leaving the Army, the last 6 months that you're in the military, you're allowed to do something called Skill Bridge, which is your internship. You can do an internship in the civilian sector so that you can bridge out of the military to a civilian job. And they had all these like stupid programs, like with USPS, and of course with like all the all of the contract defense companies and all that shit. And I was like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to do something in YouTube and crypto and trading, right? And so I hit up Chart Prime through OC. I was like, hey, let me talk to the guys over there. Like, do you think I'd be able to do my internship? Because I was just helping him out in classes as a user. I was an annual subscriber to Chart Prime. And so they said, yeah, we'll sign it. Send us your stuff. So I sent them the packet. They signed off on everything. I got it all approved to the Department of the Army. And for my last 6 months in the Army, I didn't have to work for the Army. I was able to work for Chart Prime on an internship. So that's why I have a loyalty to Chart Prime, because they let me not do Army shit for 6 months and just trade for my internship. So
Man, I appreciate hearing the background of all that stuff, man. It means, it means
well, now you
something
know.
than just showing up, Yeah, it really does. It's cool to hear, man. I mean, yeah, because I've got some of the old same kind of stuff, with my business.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I'm loyal to OC. OC was one of the guys. I came in and started taking over his class, and he was like, "Who the hell is this guy?" They actually saw that I had Lux Algo Lifetime, because I had the Lux Algo Discord and everything. You can look at profiles and see and I had Lux Algo in there, and they were like, "Who is this guy? He's got Lux Algo stuff on, like he's in their Discord and stuff, which means he's a subscriber. Who is he here to like steal secrets?" They thought I was a spy from Lux Algo. I was like, "No, I'm in the Army, dude."
No, and
But I
that,
like your indicators better. So
but I do recall like he joining and from class number one he was what does it does what if I combine this, can you explain me more here and there, and we got a one-on-one that was actually I think the fifth one-on-one that I did that was with you, something like that, like very small one-on-ones I did, and I mean it was like he already knew this stuff, right? I mean, I just wanted to, hey, you see this, and you see him. Oh, yeah. And then you do this, and this. And yeah, I mean, really? For real? Where did you got the manual from, right? So it was crazy fast with Piper. And then when he said internship, I right away talked to Alex and like showing me everything and stuff, and it was great. And I think we make a quick match like like that. And I do remember something that you mentioned. Um, when you join the classes and we start pushing to the community, we created a TA talk. We increased the
Yep.
number of classes. We participate with people. We created contest. You started with the idea of the what was it? The man, I still miss that. I don't know why we quit doing that. The smart book. Oh man, that was such a
Yeah.
success.
Because Alex didn't think it was a needed thing, but the smart book was an awesome tool. So
It was. Yeah.
You're
Still
saying
love
Piper matched
Piper.
your level of nerd.
Yeah,
yes,
and
I
even
matched his level
farther.
of nerd.
Yes. Yeah, and I
But now you
mean,
guys know why OC and I are so tight and why I will never leave Chart Prime. It's not because of Chart Prime throwing money. Trust me, it's not. It's because of loyalty. So I like the indicators. I have Market Cipher for life. I did have Lux Algo for life, but when they found out that I was doing an internship with Chart Prime, they kicked me out of the Discord, and so I blew up on their customer service because I was like, I'm in the United States Army. I'm a veteran. I'm doing an internship, and you're telling me I can't have what I paid for now? Like, that's bullshit. That's not how this works at all. That's like telling me I can't own a Chevy because I did an internship at Ford when I was getting out of college. Think about it. Think about it, customer service. Does that make sense to you? And they were like, oh shit. Okay, yeah, well, let's just give him all of his money back. So they gave me all my money back for my lifetime on Lux Algo, and I've had a chip on my shoulder against them since then. So no. Trying to buy me out wasn't going to work in the first place, and trying to buy me out and fire OC from the team, that wasn't going to happen either. My friendship and my loyalty is not for sale. So
And OC's so damn cute. Just look at the guy.
I know, right? All right, guys, we're going to hop out of here, but I hope you guys got some good content.
Piper.
I have a question.
Hey, whoa, hey, country, what?
Melissa got a question.
I have a
Oh,
question.
Melissa. Oh, go, Melissa.
Okay, so one of the things yesterday when you guys were doing your YouTube segment, I could not comment. Is there something that I'm doing wrong or not? I'm
You
subscribed.
couldn't comment?
I couldn't comment.
are you just
Let me go in and
It's almost
check.
like I feel like I'm on a restriction for some reason.
What did you
That's
do,
weird.
Melissa?
And she,
Excuse me?
I
Let me-
made sure I made sure she subscribed to everything. She subscribed.
Okay,
Internet
let me go in
coffee
here
doing
and look.
something
Hold on.
inappropriate and they locked you out.
I'm going to go look. Hold on. It might have been